What's good, YouTube? Metasnake88 here with my first place Kashtira OTS Trophy Tournament deck profile for you guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through the deck list. Shout out to Vans Comics and Cards, and shout out to all my local friends that helped me test: Devin, Andrew, Josh, Trevor, people like that. I appreciate y'all for testing with me and helping me as good with this deck as I can be. So here's a little shot at the Dark Magician first place trophy. Small tournament report. Round one, I played against Tier. Round one was a Cashmere. I'm sorry, against my friend Andrew. Cashmere is a super weird, but somehow we managed to get the W on that one. Round two was against Virtual World Tier Elements against my friend Devin. I kind of blew him out with Shifter and Hand Traps both games. So round three, I played against Runic. Ended up winning by focusing on Birth. I lost round one. I couldn't get around Fountain and all the quick play spells. Around match two, I should say, I just made BLS game one and pretty much couldn't out it. And round three came down to the wire. In the last minute, I ended up winning due to him having to activate skill drain and his life points being lower than mine. So, yeah. Round four, I lost against Tier to my friend David Dolsky. And round five, I beat Tier to make it in the first place. So, yeah. It's a little small tournament report. Overall, the deck played well. Not many changes from the last iteration that I posted. So, we'll just hop right in. So, yeah, as far as the Kashtira package goes, we got 3 unicorns. That's standard. You want to be searching your Birth all the time, getting your free extension out off of that. Also, we have the 3 Fenrir. I went down to 2 Ogre. I was drawing it too much. Ogre really doesn't, its effect to control your opponent's draw, kind of like with the reveal top 5. That effect's pretty cool, but it's not like necessary or anything. So I decided to cut it down to 3 and I put in another card, which I'll discuss later. So that's all for the Kashtira monster package. As far as the supporters, we got 3 Astro Karibo, getting into your Diabloses or your other number exceeds that we run. Also have the 3 Side Beasts. Side Beast plus Birth is pretty crazy. It's basically any Kashtira you want. So there's times when you go Beast and get Fenrir, Birth Fenrir back. Search whatever Kashtira you need or vice versa. You know, it's pretty good. So then we got the last main deck monster that'll do anything is Pankratrops. I'm thinking about cutting Pankratrops and 1 Astro Karibo to play 2 Kaijus. Thinking about playing the level 7 Earth Kaiju. I hadn't decided if I want to do that or not. Reason being, it's nice to have a main deck out to certain monsters, but that'll be something I'll address going forward. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. So other hand trap package, we got 3 D Shifter, 3 Ash. Ash really only works with D Shifter, of course. And we got 3 Imperm. So that'll be all for the hand traps. Moving on to the spells. Let's get this out of the way. All right, for the spells, 3 Pot of Prosperity. A lot of people like to play, well, I say some people like to play Pot and Sword. I think I might have discussed this on the last video, but I do not like playing both. I feel like it's one or the other thing because they will conflict. There's nothing worse than having both Sword and Pot in your hand, trying to figure out which one to play, because you obviously can't play both in the same turn. I'd rather just stick with one and use the other 3 slots for something more productive, but that's just me. Anyways, Pots was clutch all day, digging for 6, especially when this really isn't an extra deck focused deck. So yeah, got some clutch reveals off of it today. So shout out to Pot of Prosperity. And then let's see, we got 3 Kashtira Birth, Extender, of course, allows you to normal summon your level 7s for free. And also, if your opponent activates the spell while you control the Kashtira, you get to banish 3. So this helped me a lot against the Runic matchup today. It also helps a lot against Tier. When they go field spell or whatever, and they don't pop this on the next chain, you can banish 3. Or, you know, at resolution of field spell, if they activate it, you can activate Birth on the next chain to banish 3 in their grave. So it forces out shufflers, it forces out things like that. So It's a really good card. And then we got 3 instant contact for extending out. You can play this at 2 or 3. I like it at 3 because I like to see it. I like to maximize my chances of getting into my exceed plays on turn 1. So that's why I play 3. But 2 is fine. It's just up to what you want to do. And last 3 spells are 3-dimensional Fisher. Obviously, we're in a graveyard focused format, so 3-dimensional Fisher for going first, of course. Still pretty good going second, but overall, we know what matchups is for Tier, Dark World, Sword Soul to an extent, things that focus on the graveyard. So, yeah, that's it for the spells. Moving right along to the traps. So we play the 1 prep, and I'm still on summon limit. Instead of 2 this time, I'm running 3. I dropped the 3rd ogre for the 3rd summon limit. And I have to say, I did not resolve this card once during this tournament, but it's fine. I still think it's a really good card. It can be rivalry, it can be any 3 floodgates you want to play, but I just prefer this because I feel like it's good into everything. There's not many decks that can play with only 2 summons. And also setting up Shanghai Era with this is pretty nuts because you're gonna accrue a new monster each turn while you're getting rid of theirs. So yeah, that's why I chose to play Summon Limit. But like I said, it can be rivalry, it can be any other floodgate that this deck can play that you want to play. So that's it for the main deck. Move on to the extra. So we'll start with the number package. We got Big Eye, we got Diblosis, we got Harmonizer Gradiel, and we got Titanic Maw. Big Eye was the most clutch monster in the extra deck yesterday. I stole Rukaloses, I stole Kaleido Hearts, I stole so many things. I stole opponent's Fenrir's and used effects to search my own monsters. Yeah, it's pretty good. So Big Eye was MVP yesterday. Diblosis, we all know what this is for. The extra deck ripping is pretty much what this deck does. And main deck ripping also comes with his effects, so yeah. Harmonizing Gradiel, I don't think I've summoned this one time since it's been in the extra deck, but in theory, it's really good against Tier or any other deck that's like graveyard focused. It can't be destroyed by battle, by the attributes it has attached to it. And also, you could chain this to a Tier effect to attach it to this to make their fusion effect not resolve. So that's why it's in here, of course. And then we got Titanic Moth. Titanic Moth is just easy access to Zeus. And it can win you in time because, I mean, you're attacking directly for 1,200. And you got a potential to burn them for 500 for each card in the hand. So Titanium Moth is cool. So the changes we made to the extra deck since the last profile, I'm playing 2 Shanghai Era. Not because you need to, but because we have other Tier players that are locals. And I don't want to get deck ripped turn 1 for my 1 Shanghai Era. Even though I don't make it that much in this current iteration of the deck until Hypernova, of course. But honestly, the extra deck really doesn't matter for this deck, and I really don't go to Shanghai Era a lot, but at the same time, I want to have access to it when I need it, so that's why it's up to 2. Same theory for Zeus. I'm running 2 Zeus now. I was only running 1. Zeus is kind of like a power play in this deck, or can be, so it makes sense to have 2 to at least force them to use Kashtira, Unicorn, and Diablos take both if they choose to go that route. So just to make it a little hard on them. And in the case, of course, if you're not playing against Cash, it's also pot of prosperity food. So yeah, that's that. And then the rest of Xyz, Draco Sack. I want to talk a little more about Draco Sack. Like, this card is nuts. Of course, I'm not playing the Brave package, but if I was, this would be nuts for that. But the ability to make 2 tokens, use a token to pop for 1, and then link all 3 off, link this, the token, and a monster for BLS is highly underrated, and people should be looking out for that play a lot more. I did that quite a bit yesterday. I know I did it against a Runic player once. I'm not sure if I did it twice, but yeah, Draco Sack is absolutely nuts in this deck, so please don't sleep on Draco. So next, also the ability to pop floodgates like Skill Drain. Even under Skill Drain, this can pop Skill Drain. So you can tribute itself to pop Skill Drain, which is one of your outs to that. Obviously it's oddly specific out, but just to know that you can do that is, it'll be good for you going forward. So Draco is underrated. I think people should be able to learn to utilize this card a little more in this current iteration of the deck until we get to Hypernova. Red Eyes Flare Metal, time card. And it's also not bad. It can't be destroyed while it has XYC material by card effects, so it's not too bad. I attempted to make this against the Rooney player. I played against, shout out to Crawford, and yeah, he definitely negated this with a skill drain and popped it, but in theory, it would have worked. So I tried it and it didn't work, but hey, it is what it is. Synchros, we play Ching Ying for obvious reasons, and Baron the Floor. Baron is super good just to make with Ash or whatever, protect your floodgates, or just be able to pop stuff on the field and then get a negate, and then you can return this. You can theoretically get out Baron every turn if you have Burst and Ash in your graveyard, but you know, you return this back, get Ash, Burst, back up Kashtira, bring this back, reset its negate, yada, yada, yada. But overall, Baron is a welcome addition to this deck. I've been using it a lot more here lately, so yeah. And the only link we play is BLS. Obvious reasons. Most decks can't get over it, can't be targeted, and it can't be destroyed by card effects. So Zeus is typically people's out to that, but overall, going into Zeus or anything else like that, or it has to be destroyed by battle at that point. But if it gets to 4,500, there's not much that's defeating it by battle outside of, let's say, Psychic End Punisher and possibly Abramax. So those would be the main two common outs. But yeah, BLS is really good. They're not being able to be targeted effect or destroyed by card effects is super strong. And the last two are my E-Hero targets, Grand Neos and Flare Neos. Of course, I don't have Aqua Neos. If I had Aqua Neos, the extra deck would look a little different, but I don't have it. I would prefer Air Neos to this, but I don't have it. The reason being to be able to go into things on the goes and match. So, like if I had Instant Fusion, say I had Instant Fusion and Unicorn, I could go Special Unicorn, add Birth, go Instant Contact, go into Draco Sack effect, and use one of the tokens to pop the floodgate, and then continue to play like that. So I'm not going to be too worried about it because I don't think I'll be playing Instant Contact when the next support set comes out and we get all the new Kashtira cards. But if I had it now, I would be playing it for that reason. But yeah, so that's the extra. We're kicking on over to the side deck and get all this out of the way. For the side deck did not change from the last video. It's just the same. 3 Lava Golems, 3 Lightning Storms, 3 evenly matched for going second, going first, triple Skull Drain, and triple Solemn. I don't really feel like I need to explain these. I mean, these are just, to me, just blowout cards. Going second, going first. Soul Drain, I just normally decide this against Tier, Dark World, things like that. And Solemn is just your out to whatever you don't like, so you know. So I probably need to find room to play Anti-Spell, but I hadn't gotten around to finding a room to do that yet. Anti-Spell would be really good. I could fit Rivalry in somewhere, but overall, I think I like it just like this. I'm not saying it couldn't be better, but I could, you know, there's a few changes I could make, but overall, right now, it's been working out how I wanted to work, so that's what I've been playing. And like I said, that's the deck profile, everybody. So shout outs to Vans Cards and Comics for throwing the trophy tournament. Shout out to all my friends that helped me test everybody, and shout out to everybody else that shows the locals, that comes out and supports. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, answer any questions. I'll get to them in the comments. Appreciate it.